from my bed to the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8. Will today be rough or will today be great? 9, 10, 11, 12. Lately I've been going through hell. 13, 14, 15, 16. Today's the day. Are you coming? Are you I'm sick of being normal, I'm sick of being average. I'm sick of being mortal, I'm about to be a savage. I see a lot of things that I want, I will have them. I got a new mindset that I just established. I'll march through the cold with the nails on the pavement. I'll shovel that coal just to get out the basement. My story will be told, helping others make changes. I'll be so bold, they will watch in amazement.
Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it. Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it.
Foot up on the pedal, pushing hard to the metal. Make a deal with the devil. Channel rage through my vessel into something that is special. Energy of a rebel, going up a level. I just wanna be greatness. I can feel changes. Turn a new page and tie up my laces. I will be the bravest. Break out of my cages. I will not be nameless. I will not be aimless.
Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it. Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it.
All right, what is going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome back on this Thursday evening, back into the Locked In Podcast, episode 166, where we're back in the personal development realm. We're going to be talking about health and fitness as we're gearing up. You know, it's that time of the year. You know, it's almost April. We're gearing up for summer 2024, and we're featuring a special guest, returning guest to the podcast, certified online fitness coach, Matt Lee. Matt, what is going on, brother?
Dude, I got to tell you, man, every time I come on this show, there's always improvements. That intro was amazing.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, you saw, man. I had you on the health and fitness portion of it, man.
I was going to say, this is my third time on, I think. And every single time, like when you say, hey, we're going to be going into the intro, I'm like, dude, this is great.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, man. But I'm pumped to be back. And, you know, this is, I would say, the perfect timing, you know, more so what we're going to be talking about tonight. Because it's funny, man. Everyone's always like, when summer gets closer and closer and closer, they always like reach out in like May, you know, because Memorial Day is like only a few weeks away. They're like, I got to lose all this weight, get shredded for summer. I'm like, where were you, 2 to 3 months ago? So this is the perfect timing to be, talking about this topic tonight.
Absolutely. I was going to say, as a fitness coach, man, I know that when the new year starts, everybody kind of hits the ground running. How's that period like? I guess between like March, like I don't know, February. Like I know most people, you see in like the gyms, everybody kind of comes in January, and then by February, you start to see the regular crowd people again. Then there's some people who still stick with it, who do stay, but a lot of it like falls off, I think, in February.
Yeah, I was gonna say 100%. Like our busiest times, man, it's funny. It's January, of course, like getting all the people for the New Year's resolutions and so forth, which is great because like, they're giving themselves plenty of time to get ready for summer. And in May is always a huge month because people think that 4 weeks is going to be enough to make a drastic change. Now, mind you, for some people that they just want to maybe lose like 3 to 5 pounds, great. Like we can get that done in a shorter time frame. But yeah, May is a big month for us because people think that that's going to be, the time to really kind of kickstart their journeys getting ready for summer. So, but the time is now. Like that's definitely the most, the biggest thing is giving yourself enough time to do this. So
Agreed, man. I was gonna say, like, I just from knowing people who worked with you, the one thing I like, and I see like your, your social media page and everything, you don't sugarcoat anything. So I think the best thing is when you're losing weight is is that you want to make sure you do it in a healthy way. I know there's a lot of fitness coaches out there that might tell you, oh, in May, you can lose like, 15, 20 pounds doing this, doing that. But that's the thing. Is it necessarily healthy? What you're doing. I think that's important. And also, I think we've discussed this before. If you do lose 20 pounds in a month, you're not going to be able to sustain that. You know what I mean? You're not going to sustain that long term. And that's the thing. It becomes hard to build a habit.
Yeah, and that's like you said, man. That's the biggest part because like there's so many quick fixes out there, especially with a lot of these weight loss medications like Ozempic, and that's a whole nother conversation, right? Because my wife and I just did a podcast on that actually the other day because a lot of people have been reaching out. Reaching out for advice on that. And it's just because it's just so readily available and everyone's kind of looking at that as like a quick fix. Right. And again, there's other things that fall into that category, but like you mentioned, man, like with those quick fixes, it's just not sustainable. Like you'll make that progress very quickly. And people get very excited about that. But once they stop, whatever that program is or whatever that medication is, like a lot of the times, like all that weight will come right back on and then some. And it stinks, man, just because like you get so pumped up to be 10, 15, 20 pounds lighter, seeing those improvements in the physique, and you stop and all that weight comes right back on just because, like you mentioned, it's just not sustainable. Exactly. So that's the biggest thing I always preach to those that we work with, like slow and steady wins the race. Like the slow progress, is what's going to last a lifetime. And that's always the most important.
Exactly. No, I love it, man. Because that's the best thing when you can build it and make it a lifestyle. That's the best, and it's like it doesn't feel as daunting because if you do it and you slowly decrease your weight. You say you're trying to lose weight, or you're trying to gain muscle. You slowly like increase that. It's gonna make it easier to kind of build a habit, I think. Yeah. And then be able to make it a lifestyle, which is really important. The Ozempic podcast, though, good stuff, man. I actually watched that, so it was
It's interesting, man. And again, it's funny too. I don't know a lot about it, but my wife being like in the medical field, like of course knew a lot more than me about it, which is just awesome just because, dude, it's blowing up, man. And so many people have been asking us about it recently. And, I'm not usually comfortable to talk about it just because again, it's kind of out of my field house here, but it's been interesting, man. Just kind of seeing that blow up and a lot of people, starting to look to take that as an option now. So
Exactly. It's like anything where you need where you can utilize something that's man-made to kind of help you lose something. I don't know. Like I feel weird about that. You know what I mean? It's like and another thing, I'm not super I know there's some people who are really picky on ingredients and stuff, but it really does make me wonder because I watch some of these people who are nutritionists and they look at they'll look at the back of bottles when you're in the stores. It's crazy how much stuff all the inflammatory ingredients you don't really think about it, but it's and the majority of stuff that we consume, I feel in the United States, it's you see the oils and all this stuff, and it's crazy. It's you don't really think about it until you really look at the back of the bottles or the boxes or whatever you're consuming. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's wild, man. And that's something that this past year that I've been a lot more aware of because you asked me that 3 or 4 years ago, when I was heavily involved in bodybuilding and everything was very low calorie when it came to condiments and drinks and so forth. Yeah, the oils and the sweeteners and all the artificial stuff that they put in these products, man, it's crazy and it's just not healthy to consume. But again, it was just one of those things years ago, I didn't have a problem with it because I was all right, this is, I can't believe it's not butter spray. I was, on my bodybuilding prep and I couldn't have butter, but I can't believe it's not butter spray that literally tastes like butter. So I was putting on, dude, I would soak everything in this thing because it just tasted so good. But I look back at it, I'm like, this is straight chemicals. So it's crazy, man. Because that's something too that I've educated myself a lot more on is just, what is actually in these products. And we've really changed what we have in our household now with, more natural ingredients, getting away from a lot of those products. And it's made a big difference in regards to digestive health. Again, just more so how I'm feeling throughout the day even too. And yeah, it's pretty crazy when you look into that stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's you just don't think about it. And that's the thing. It's just growth because, you start to learn things and it's just different. I feel how we're brought up here in America with all the ingredients, everything. Most people most people be oh, you're crazy. You're going to eliminate this, that, and third. But most people don't realize that they're consuming things that are super inflammatory too. So
yeah,
it's interesting.
No, it is pretty wild, man. But like you said, it's just an ever kind of growing knowledge when it comes to, of course, this world of health and fitness and nutrition. So
Exactly. It's like, and then like going back to the, what was it, the one portion about like being sustainable and stuff like that. How I could always explain to somebody is like, if somebody loses 20 pounds in a month, it's like, imagine how somebody's eating when they're on prep versus they're not. You know what I mean? You're not always going to be eating like you're on prep. You know what I mean? It's like, or you're in mode to be on stage and stuff like that. It's different. And, you know, people's bodies they kind of go back to normal, you know, after, you know, you have the maintenance calories and everything, you know, so.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing. Like, I will say this too, like there's people out there that literally could lose 20 pounds in a month and be totally fine just because they have that much weight to lose, you know, like very, very overweight, like have a lot of body fat. And again, like because I work with some individuals, man, like that. And it just blows my mind when I do their check-ins that they're down like 5 pounds a week after week after week after week. And again, like when we work with people that, you know, I would say is a lower body fat percentage, like we don't look to see big drops like that. Cause I'm like, all right, like it's just not sustainable. It's just not realistic and it's just not healthy. But when we have somebody that is really overweight, like that's, believe it or not, normal. And like their body's able to sustain that. So it really is all depending on the person, just the overall health where they're at right now, physique wise, body fat percentage wise, and so forth. But it is really crazy to see, man, how much it differs per person. So
absolutely. I'm sure you get to see all that too as a coach, you know, because everybody you work with, it's different. Their body types are different. Their genetics are different. You start to kind of see things and you kind of get that experience as a coach.
Yeah. No, but again, it all comes back down to that sustainability, right? Like no matter the person, like it has to be a sustainable approach. And like, I think the whole conversation for us today, and again, you can steer this in any direction you want, but I was mostly going to be talking about like those habits, right, that build a foundation. Just because I always preach, and you might see me say this on social media because I feel like I say it every single week, but I always preach foundation, right? Because I feel like a lot of the time, Steve, when people like look to lose weight for summer, like these are usually the conversations that I have. I, you know, ask them like, all right, what are you doing right now? And what do you plan to do, you know, next week or 2 weeks when you start up this journey, right? And they're always like, I'm going to join the gym. I'm going to get a gym membership, start working out again. I'm going to start eating healthy. I'm like, great. Like those are two huge things, but like, where's your water intake? How's your sleep? How's your stress management? How's your activity outside of the gym? Like those 4 things right there are like the most important thing to focus on. So like anytime I talk to people about summer preparation, I'm like, let's start with the simple things that literally build the strongest foundation. And then we can add on those workouts, and then we can add on the cardio, and then we can add on the diet. So it's more so the most sustainable approach to take is just focusing on that foundation.
I love it, brother. I love it. And I couldn't agree more. I think that that's important. Yeah, no, it's because I think you're right. I think most people, they just think food intake, so the diet and the exercise are just the 2 most biggest foundations. But I know we've talked about this on the podcast too. There's other things to go into, like you said, the water intake. That's going to work with, you know, keeping your body hydrated. It honestly, just, you know, drinking water in general is just great. You know, it keeps your skin hydrated. It keeps you satiated too. You know, it's going to be like you less likely to probably feel hungry. I know there's something I do, you know, sometimes before a meal. It might not work for everybody. I'll drink like 30 minutes before a meal sometimes if I'm feeling like I'm going to like kind of go crazy or something like that. I'll just drink like a seltzer water, something like that. You know, it's carbonated, but it's just something to kind of keep you feel satiated, you know, like like a little bit like before that meal. That's just something I do. But in terms of water, just in general, it's very important to get the water in, obviously. And then I know we've talked sleep and stress levels. Stress levels are huge too. We've talked this before.
It's something, again, we could talk about this every single time we come on the show, because it's something that so many people struggle with, man. And I feel like this past year alone, like it's something that we're noticing client wise that it's just been so bad, and it affects, I would say, progress so much when people cannot manage their stress. Just because, not getting like too into it, but cortisol, body's natural stress hormone, right? When that, you know, is elevated for a very long time, like your body's going to respond in different ways, and it more so acts as like a huge barrier when it comes to like not being able to make progress. And people don't realize that, right? Because it's funny, you know, when people start up with a weight loss journey and they just focus on the workouts and they just focus on cardio and diet, and they're not seeing progress, like they start stressing out about that. So that adds on top of already them having potentially high stress levels. So it's just not an ideal situation. So it's just like you said, it's just funny because we always talk about this, but I just feel like it's something that people don't realize played that big of a role when it comes to holding them back.
Yeah, it kind of goes under the radar. So then it's like, I guess at that point, it's like, how do we get your stress levels from being like so high to get them down to a lower state where that way this will be beneficial, which becomes tough. Well, I mean, it just becomes a whole other barrier to work towards, you know?
No, 100%, man. But yeah, that's a big one. And like you said too, with the water intake, it's funny because like that's always something, like for those that we work with here, like we always we always focus on that first. And like people, of course, like when they like reach out for coaching or reach out for help, like again, same situation. They think they're going to be getting a lot out of the gate with like the workouts and the diet and so forth. But when we just want them to focus on water intake and daily steps, they're always like, what the heck did I sign up for? I'm like, just wait, just wait. This is all going to make sense. But like, dude, the how your body responds in a positive manner to drinking enough water every single day, like you mentioned, it's going to help your hair. It's going to help your eyes. It's going to help your skin. It's going to even help your metabolism. Like there's so many benefits to drinking enough water every single day. And it's so funny, like for those that we just talked to in general about that topic, like so many people are way under where they should be with water intake. Like they just have no idea. Like they'll have a glass in the morning. They'll maybe have a glass, you know, in the afternoon, maybe one with dinner. Like 3 glasses of water a day is just not enough. When you're like intentional about it, it is insane to see how under people are with their water intake. So again, just focusing on that is a huge thing you can do if you're looking to lose weight or just kind of get this process started for summers. Just drink enough water. It's really going to benefit you.
Absolutely. I should probably get like an actual like bottle like for it, but like I'll like most days, like I'll have like the 2 glasses in the morning, but then I'll have like, if I have an Essentia bottle, you know, I count that as like 2 water bottles.
Yeah.
I know when you get to like 7.5 water bottles, that's when you hit your gallon. I think it's like around that or whatever. Yep. And then like the more you go on, there's sometimes where I'm drinking like 15 or the day if I'm doing like 2 workouts, something crazy, and it's like I'm getting like 1.5 gallons, 2 gallons of water. But I never used to like ever track my water, but now I've just become in the habit of like doing it like every single day. And that's the thing. It becomes tough at first, but the more you start to like focus on it, that's how it's with any habit. You know what I mean? The more you start to do it, it just becomes like clockwork, you know?
Yeah. And it's funny too, because like people, when we start working with them and we kind of ask them like, hey, how much are you drinking a day? And they start to kind of like be aware of it. And we start to increase it. Like, of course, the first thing they say is I'm living in the bathroom. I'm like, just give it some time. Cause like you mentioned, your body's get used to it. And then before you know, you'll be able to drink a gallon, you know, plus no issue at all. But yeah, it's just funny, the bathroom comments that we always get out of the gate when we start telling people to focus on it. So
exactly. Like I can drink a bottle on the podcast. Like I know when I'm like working and stuff, because I work from home, like I can be on a couple meetings and like drink like as I'm like in the meetings and stuff.
Yep.
I try to get creative with it.
Yeah, no, it's funny, man, because like my wife got me a Stanley, which I feel like that's just like all the craze right now. But we just got this like Yeti one the other day, and it's funny because like the straws popped up like this, so I'll be like sitting on my desk typing and like just sipping like mindlessly. I'm like, dude, no hands. And I just pound them back, man. It's just one of those things. Like, I always try to get done like 2 in the morning and like 2 in the afternoon, and just, of course, have my big one when I go to the gym. But like you just mentioned, it's just like habit now for me. And I couldn't imagine not drinking that much water because I feel it. I don't know about you, but like when I don't drink enough, man, like I feel it. Like I get some aches and pains. Like again, that dehydrated state, you really can feel it when you're on top of your water intake and when you're not drinking enough.
Yep, I feel sluggish when I'm not like drinking enough water. I definitely do. Like I get like the a little bit of brain fog like in the afternoon and stuff. You know what I mean? I know, and I'm like I'm not drinking enough water. You have to catch up with some water. You know what I mean? It's just I start to feel it too. I agree.
Yeah, no, it's pretty funny, but that's huge, man. It's going to be one of the biggest things for those that are just looking to get their journey started this summer. Like it's such a simple thing, but I promise like anyone that is of course like listening to this right now, it's going to be a huge thing for you to do. And I promise you there's going to be a great outcome from it.
Absolutely, man. I wanted to dive into your. I know you have your whole program going on. Matt's got some good stuff going on for the summer shred. 2024. It's that time of year, like we were saying. End of March, going into April. Summer's going to be here in a couple months. So, Matt, I'll let you. Do you know how to present on here and share the screen? There's a thing at the bottom. I think you should see. I don't know if it says present. Does it say present, or maybe I have to give it to you?
I don't see it.
Let me see.
I may be able to pull some stuff up for you too, and I can find that real quick.
Yeah. Worst case, let me and I'll look in the meantime to see if there's a way to kind of maybe I can share my screen and give it to you. So let me see if I can do something with that. Let me see. Window. I'll share what we're doing here. If there's a way that I can paste that off. Maybe not. All right, yeah. Worst case, yeah. If you send it to me, and then I'll just put it up if you want, if that works.
Let me see if I can download the PDF real quick for you, and I can get that
up. Sure, no worries, man.
I'll mess. There's a little setting bar down here, so I might be able to mess with that real quick too.
Yeah. Does it say like mute, stop cam, present?
Yes.
Like, if there's a thing that says present on there, towards the middle, like next to the settings.
That's the one.
Yep, you hit that, and there should be a thing to share your screen.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Let me just pull this document out real quick so I can showcase what we do here.
Yep. Always some good stuff.
See.
Anyone I know that's ever worked with you, man, is like followed the protocol, followed everything, man. They're always seeing results, man. So
Yeah, I mean, listen, it works if people are willing to put in the work. That's the biggest thing, but that's with all things.
yeah,
So.
you can't. That's the thing, you can't just put the work into someone else's hands and have them do it for you. It doesn't work that way.
No, 100%. All right, let me see if I can present real quick. I don't know if I can share screen. Let me see. Can you see which one I want to share? Canva online coaching window. Oh, there we go. Look at that. We're in there. Money. Awesome. Can you see this, Steve, or we can't see what's being shared right now?
Yeah, I see it down here. Let me hit it. Add the state. There we go.
There. Look at that, man. Beautiful.
Yep.
All right, yeah. So like Steve mentioned, I am an online fitness coach. For those that don't know, I started my business Team Make Waves back in 2016, right when I graduated college. I was able to go full time with the business back in 2019. And since then been able to help over 1,000 individuals when it comes to their health and fitness journeys, which is an absolute blessing to say. But we really have, I would say, two backbone programs that we more so market and more so look to get people on: our complete package and our nutrition package. So I just want to kind of go over real quick, like what that more so entails, especially on the nutritional side of things. So the biggest thing when it comes to those that we work with, we always preach flexibility. And like Steve mentioned too, like it's all about whatever program you follow. It's all about the plan and the approach being sustainable, because it's something that you want to last a very long time. Just being able to do something for a few weeks or a few months is great. But if you don't build the habits to be able to, of course, have it last a lifetime, you're not going to be able to sustain those results. So we always preach to those that we work with that we want to be able to guide them to the finish line, but we want to be able to get them to the finish line in a way that they, no longer need us. Like, we love working with everyone we work with, but I always joke around like, we don't want to work with you for the rest of your life, right? We want to, of course, work with you for however long it's going to take to get you to that finish line. But once you get there, you can go off on your own and, do things on your own and be able to sustain those results, for a very, very long time. And I really believe that it all starts with the diet, right? So we take a very flexible approach with what we do for those that we work with on the dieting front. And it's funny, man, because like this honestly started with my not so great dieting experiences in the past. Like, again, like I mentioned earlier, I used to compete in bodybuilding. And as I competed in bodybuilding, I was working with a coach for many, many years. And I literally would have the biggest and the most caveman-like diet. And I joke when I say this, but it literally was like chicken and rice every single meal, tilapia and sweet potato, like eggs and oatmeal. Like, it was the most plain Jane meal plan you ever could experience in your life. But listen, I followed it. It worked. I did very well during my bodybuilding career. It was great, but it just wasn't sustainable. Like, every single time I would get done, with the shows and my contest prep, I would just fall into not the best post-show experience, binge on foods that I was missing like just so much when it came to like, all the time on my meal plan. And I was like, all right, this just isn't sustainable. Like, I don't want anyone else like, dieting like this, because chicken and rice and tilapia and sweet potato every single day for months on end, it's just not realistic, man. Like, come on. So with our dieting approach, like, we always try to give those that we work with as much flexibility as possible, like I mentioned. And for that, we have, all you guys fill out a form that they pick and choose all the foods they want to see on their plan. So different protein options, different carb options, different fat options. And from all the food they select, we build them out meals like this that look pretty similar, right? So we, of course, kind of, again, see what foods they want. We see what grocery stores they go to, make it as custom as possible for you. But we just try to keep it as specific as possible, to kind of telling you exactly what to get at the grocery store, how much you need to be eating, what the weight amount should be, whether it being grams or ounces. And again, just try to give you as many different options as possible, on each and every plan. So for this, again, this is just one example you're looking at here with meal 1, option B. But if an individual selects a lot on this nutrition form, we can build them out like 5 to 6 different breakfast options, 5 to 6 different lunch options, different dinner options, different snack options. So they have a lot to choose from, throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, so they're not eating the same thing every single day. And it's funny, like, we work with people that are more than happy to eat the same thing every single day. And I'm like, hey, listen, if that's you, great. Like, it makes our life easier just because things are very simple. But some people constantly love to change it up. They one day want a burger, the one day want tacos, the next day they want pasta. So the cool thing is, like, everything's based upon macros. As you can see here, like, we always kind of base everything off of the macro breakdown, the total carbs, total fats, total proteins that everyone should be consuming. So again, when you track macros and you take like the flexible dieting approach, you could fit anything in the world into a meal plan. Like that's the amazing thing about it. So we just give people examples and kind of let them go off on their own with their macros and start just tracking and just fit things in. Just because, again, like the sky's the limit when it comes to what you could be eating with a macro approach. So that's the dieting side of things. Like I said, that's the biggest thing we focus on, because typically people, just one, don't know what they should be eating. Two, don't know the amount that they should be eating, or, more so see these kind of, fad diets out there like keto. Carnivore is one that's kind of blowing up again right now, especially for like the male population. That, again, this is not the most sustainable, just because, again, each macro plays a role. So, for example, for keto, carbohydrates are the devil, but carbohydrates play such an important role, in your body's daily function. So it's just one of those things, like we just try to educate people and kind of show them, hey, like this is a good balanced diet. This is flexible. This is going to be sustainable, all that fun stuff.
I was going to say with keto, people go, I lost a lot of weight. Like on keto, it's like, well, you eliminated a macronutrient. It's like, what do you expect? It's what's going to happen. You eliminated one of the big 3 macronutrients. Of course, that's going to,
It was funny. I was talking to a lady the other day on Facebook. She reached out just kind of looking for some advice. And I was like, all right, like, what have you been doing diet-wise? She's like, yeah, I've been doing keto. And I'm like, how's that going for you? She's like, I miss pizza. I was like, well, why the heck are you doing keto right now? Like, it's just one of those things, like if you're missing foods, like that's probably not a good thing.
Right, exactly. I agree. Like if you can make it, that's the thing. I think when people think of diet, they think of like getting rid of certain things. But like you said, if you have a lot of things you can implement into things, there's like nothing in the world you can't just put into and figure out, a way to make it a creative recipe to make it like, make it work for you. That's the thing. It's like when you eliminate like everything, it's like that makes it harder to sustain long term. And like you said, everybody's different. Some people might be fine with having the same thing every single day. I know I'm not that type of person. Like I need to have a little bit of variety at least, but everybody's different.
That's the truth, man. Like you said, like when back in the day when I was very like hardcore into bodybuilding, I was so disciplined during the show preps that I was okay eliminating all my favorite foods to follow this meal plan, just because I was like, all right, like you have to kind of do this when you want to step up on stage and compete and do well. But like I said, that elimination mindset just wrecked me every single time I got off stage and I got a taste of something like, delicious that I wasn't able to have. Like I just fell into like a month-long rabbit hole of just binging on everything. And like Steve, it got so bad, like it literally didn't look like I worked out. Like I literally would get depressed and have body image issues because, just a few days ago, I was like 3% body fat winning a show. And next thing you know, I am just like a freaking tick. It was bad. And again, it all started from that elimination mindset that I wasn't able to enjoy the things that I love most. And, I see that often too with people that, reach out for help that have come to us with that past dieting history and dieting lifestyle. Like I'll get on the phone calls with them and it's like a horror story of like, I worked with this person or I found this online and I tried it and it was just like the craziest tactic. And I'm like, what the heck did you get yourself into? So it's rough, man. It's a rough world.
Yeah. The beautiful thing about going through those experiences is look what you were able to like kind of build out of it. So you can kind of relate to people through it. And you were able to kind of, that's kind of how you were able to like start your coaching and really just kind of have that experience in the back of your mind and kind of put that forward. That's actually a great, it's a great thing. We all go through, challenges and different types of things, but sometimes it builds it out for the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, we always joke around too. Like our whole business really is built on referrals. So I'm like, at the end of the day, like the fact that we're growing based upon referrals is really shows that people, one, are enjoying our product and service. And two, like, again, they've had great things to say about the diets and the workouts that we build out, which is awesome.
Absolutely. George, what's going on, brother? Welcome in.
What's up, guys? How y'all feeling? What's up, man? Matt, good to see you, bro, as always.
Good to see you as well, man. Good to see you as well.
Thanks for having us. Yep.
Happy to have you on.
We're walking through Matt's plan for the summer shred right now. So we're going to be getting he's going to be getting clients on board because it's that time of the year. Gearing up for summer.
Yeah, that was the diet. Workouts are another big piece to the puzzle. And the cool thing is with the app that we have, and I'll talk about a little promo that we're going to be running after I get to talking about this. But the app that we have is fully interactive, right? So if you're looking to train 3, 4, 5, 6 days a week, right? Like we'll go ahead and build you out gym workouts, home workouts, like whatever you're looking to do. But we all, base everything off of strength training, which is going to be, absolutely key in regards to not only making great progress now, but again, allowing you to be able to sustain that progress for the long haul. Because, I know there's a lot of things out there like HIIT and burn boot camps are very appealing. And, it's funny, as summer gets closer, I see a lot of those, for example, like burn boot camps and Orange Theory, like marketing their product. It's great that they get you active, but that's, again, just not the best workout approach to be taking to, of course, like lose weight and, of course, keep that off for a long time. So yeah, we just try to make sure that everyone's well educated and has a really good plan or approach and play workout wise to of course get them in a good spot. So the app that we have, again, not getting too into it, but it literally tracks everything. We build the workouts out in there and it's fully interactive. So if you're ever confused on how to perform an exercise, like we have video tutorials, we have an option for people to track, as you can kind of see here. There are weights for each exercise. So again, it kind of logs everything for them so they can track strength progressions over time. But yeah, that's pretty much everything going on workout wise. And like I was telling you, Steve, we're running a promo up until Monday, April 1st, that we're literally just giving away 4 weeks of free workouts in the app. So these can be gym workouts, home workouts. We're just looking to help people because like I was telling you before we hopped on the show, a lot of people just don't know how to train properly to get them to where they want to be with their goals. And again, like we do this twice a year, and it's just such a kind of meaningful time for like myself and my assistant coaches, just being able to, just help for free. Like there's no strings attached to this. Just because again, the more people we can help, the more fulfillment we get out of what we do. So yeah, like I don't know if I can share the link, but I can give that to you afterwards. You can, share that out to the audience if anyone is looking to take advantage of that. But yeah, we're gonna be running this until April 1st, and we're gonna be starting on Monday, April 1st, and we're gonna just do this throughout April. And again, just try to help out as many people as possible with workouts.
Absolutely. I was going to say, if you actually send me that link,
that's a good plan. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks,
if you send me that link now, what I'll do is I'll send it to people. I'll obviously put it up when I'm like posting later.
Yeah.
But if you send it to me now, I can actually I'll put it up on the screen here. So
yeah,
that
let
way
me see if I can just. Do you want me to text it to you? Or you want me to put it in the chat?
Yeah. Do you you know what? Do you have yeah, you know what? You can actually just put it in the chat. That's fine. That would actually be perfect.
Awesome. Perfect. Yeah, but that's everything that we do at Team Make Waves here.
Yeah, great stuff, man. You know what, dude? Like, just like you get the fulfillment out of giving the free month, and at the same time, it's value creation too. People say, I don't know if you ever heard of like Alex Ramosi.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, great guy. I was actually re-listening to one of his audiobooks this morning. It's like $100 million offers, but he even says, he's like, if you give something away for free, people are going to be like, if I can get this type of value for free, what is somebody going? What is this guy going to give me? If I'm paying, what I mean? It's a good
that's the biggest thing. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, at the end of the day, is this a sales tactic? Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Yes, because people they do the free workouts. They really see, like you just mentioned, everything that we have to offer, and a lot of those people are like, wow, like I couldn't imagine not living with this, and they ultimately down the road, once we kind of gain their trust, sign up for coaching. So again, like it's just something like, yes, down the road, like it is a way for us to get people in the community. But like I always said, like that's not really like what it's about. Like
exactly
for the short term, like we just want to be able to help as many people out as possible. Just because like they'll be able to spread the word. They'll be able to, of course, like remember us down the road if they ever need something. So like
facts.
Everything comes back around.
Exactly. So yeah, it's exactly like you said. It comes kind of around like tenfold. You know what I mean? Everything's like it's like universal. Let's see if I can add this in. Let me see if I can put this
I found my old Blink pass. Look at that, Steve.
Blink Fitness.
Yo, Steve.
Is that even around anymore?
No, actually they're not. They're shut down.
Yeah, there was one near Maid that I was going to. I liked it because it was low key. I was like, there wasn't a ton of people. You could go in, get your workouts, and it was right up the street. They're not closing a location near me, so now I just go to LA, which I do like because it gives you variety. I can go to multiple gyms. The only thing I don't like.
Look what I found, bro. Look what came in the mail. Remember?
You get a while.
No, the one that I lost. So Matt, inside story. Me and Steve had a meeting like one time about the podcast, really early in the year, and somewhere along that meeting, I lost my wallet, along $70. Now, ironically, the wallet comes back in the mail, but as you can see, of course, the green is gone. The money's gone.
They took the money, and that was their payment to themselves to send it back.
$70. I guess you have to work for it. I told Steve, actually, Steve knows. I made the money back the very next night, but the hassle this fucking thing brought me, bro. Yo, Steve, what do you say, bro? I'm sorry to cut you guys off from the actual topic, but members, bro, we're like, yo, we're gonna find it. You don't need it. I just got my license done. I got everything done. I only got like an old card numbered in here. That's cool. I guess there's good people there, but it comes with a cost. The money's gone.
I was gonna say, man, they took that money and they ran.
Yeah, where's your wallet?
That came in his letter.
I was gonna say, is there a return?
We even talked about it today earlier on a phone call.
Is there a return address on that envelope?
Of course not.
I was gonna say they don't want you to know where they live.
Mario commented on Mario. He said thanks for the 70.
That's awesome.
So Mario found it. It was you, Marius. You got the money to pay me back. I need my bread back.
was gonna say, guys, if you want to check out the Team Make Waves promo, go to the link that I've just posted here. You can actually see it. It's like through our YouTube channel, but I'm gonna post it in the Facebook groups too, so everybody has it. And I'm gonna post it in Instagram too.
Awesome.
So when I do like a story or whatever or a post, I'll actually put the link in there so people can click it and direct traffic right to it.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I see it right here, Steve. I do see it on a private chat as well, so good stuff. And actually, you know what, man? I'm gonna check it out myself, bro, because it's been a minute since I checked some of your some of your page. I mean, I see you in IG all the time. We talk sometimes, but it's just been a minute. I've been so I'm focused on the stuff, bro, because I'm actually gonna try to go to the gym afterwards too. So yeah, definitely gotta check out some of the stuff, bro, and some of the new stuff that you kind of added to your program and the workout plan and everything else like that. He definitely does a lot of good, bro. He turns heads, bro, for sure.
Dude, there's nothing to it, so it's just something to get you going. So
exactly, it's just there's nothing to lose by doing it.
Yep.
Definitely not. More to gain, more than anything.
Exactly. Nah, I love it, man. Because that's why I said anybody I've ever known that has ever worked for you, as long as they follow the protocol and everything, they see the results that they want. So it's always good stuff, and it's great. Like you said, when you can run your business off of referrals, that means you're doing something right. You know what I mean? People are seeing results, they're referring. And that's a good cycle to have. It means it's this incoming business all the time.
Yeah, no, it's great, man. It's funny too. You mentioned Hermosi because I had the $100 million offer book, and I just got the 100. I don't know if you have read the $100 million leads book, but I'm going through that one right now.
Nice. Yeah, I had to. So I'm gonna read the leads one. My buddy Bryce is a big Hermosi fan. So he was who put me onto him originally. And he put me onto it like a year ago, and I've listened a couple times. But I wanted to, before I kind of dove into the leads one, I wanted to refresh myself on the offers one. Then I'm then I'm gonna go right into leads. So I'm starting back out with that. But the good thing is I should be able to finish that by tomorrow. I'm just listening to the audiobook.
Yeah.
It's a quick audiobook, not long, like 3 hours.
Yeah, no, dude, it's a lot to take in though. I've been reading it. I probably should be listening to the audiobook. But man, dude, it's a lot. There's a lot there.
Yeah, it's a lot of value. That's the thing. It's and he's right. You know what I mean? I thought his story about how he lost, he had his gym and everything at 21, 22 years old.
Yep.
And how he had lost everything, and then yeah, I know he really hammers home that Grand Slam offer and everything like that. It's really true. It's crazy. It's but that's the thing. Everybody goes through low points and tough times, and without those experiences, those people can help you to avoid making the same mistakes that they made. You know what I mean? It's incredible.
It's true, man. I love him too because I've worked with business coaches in the past, and paid a good amount of money for these business coaches in the past. Yeah. And I will always say, man, Hermosi is just so real when it comes to what he's putting out there. Because again, he's been through so much, and I just feel like he holds nothing back, which is incredible. And even working with people that I was paying for mentorship, I'm like, man, these guys are leaving things, such valuable things out, but they were just looking to make more off of me type of situation. I was like, it just wasn't a good vibe. But Hermosi's just he's this real man, down to earth dude. I'm like, he's a great guy.
Yeah,
that's what's up, man.
Yeah, and I think sustainability comes not just in health and fitness, but in business too. That's the thing. People can make money on a short-term thing right then and there, but that's the thing. Those people can get that value, get that money out of you. But if you can build sustainable value to the person too at the same time, and I think if you love what you do and you build that value long term, you're gonna make even more money because you're gonna be able to sustain that long term. People know that you're doing it for the right reasons. They can see your passion is behind it, and you just continue to make improvements in your business, and people see that, and you're there for the clients. And,
it's all good things, man. I really think that's a huge. Again, what I went over to program wise, that's why I'm just so happy and so proud. When people reach out, hey, I heard, I coming from so and so client, or you worked with this person back in the day, and I'm looking to kind of see what you're doing. It's just awesome, just because I was all right, what we're doing, you mentioned, it works if the person's willing to put in the work. But our approach is it's just flexible, and that sustainability is just so key. No matter what it is, and I just feel a lot of people don't realize that, especially for those that are new in the world of looking to lose weight or just looking to pursue muscle building, right? They just don't realize what I should be doing should last me the rest of my life, and not something that's going to be a quick fix. So,
yep, and it shouldn't feel like a chore. That's why there's a lot of people that we hammer home on lifestyle, because when it feels like a lifestyle and you're able to kind of have fun with it and just make it an entire lifestyle, it doesn't feel like a chore. You know what I mean? It becomes. That's where the sustainability kind of comes from. You know what I mean? It's very difficult to make something sustainable if you're fretting doing it every single day. It's very difficult.
No, 100% no.
Well, that's the thing. I think it's about consistency, but also client satisfaction, which you guys and you, Matt, obviously kind of have already. And even coming here, man, a lot of people, because people have asked me and Steve as well behind the scenes, like, yo, like your friend or your buddy, the guy Matt, so what does he do? How long has he been doing this? And I was like, well, there's a website. I said, man, he's been doing it for long enough. I said, and they said there's results. And I told them I don't personally do it because I just don't really like have the time right now. But I even told them when I have fights coming up, or say like I told Steve, I want to lose a pound or two, and if I need something like a small trick, you're the first person I would call, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, you and a few others, but like I tell you about it, this stuff works, man. But it's so much like, first of all, like Steve said earlier, and we talked about behind the scenes, is what you're looking for. It's not about to be Arnold Schwarzenegger or Jean-Claude Van Damme. Some people want to be like like in shape. Some want to be. You could be a surfer. You could be a boxer or a runner. What they got in common? They all like kind of like work out, and they all got like a certain physique, but they use the muscles for other stuff. You more or less help people get what they want to get in life. And if they say like one of the clients is a boxer, I'm sure you got some stuff you can tell them. Okay, you're gonna use his muscles, your shoulders, and all that. The dieting, and it all connects anyway. Fighters don't gotta cut weight anyway. A lot of them. Well, unless you're fat and you're fighting a heavyweight, you don't gotta do that. But so all this stuff kind of all comes back around, bro. And it's really stuff. And see, I wish, like I told Steve a while back, I wish I knew stuff in high school because I was wrestling, and I need to cut weight, bro. I just did it on my science. Was just work out hard, sweat it out, eat a little bit, don't eat much, or eat, but make sure you go heavy in the gym. And we had a coach named Mr. McCready. He used to make us run a lot and lose a lot of weight. He knew nutritious as well. But in high school level, bro, not a lot of coaches or guys that cut weight are cutting weight experts or people like you, like nutritionists. I mean, they simply are not, bro. It's just,
it's the truth, man. I wrestled in high school too, and I'll never forget. Like my coach had me running in a trash bag on the treadmill.
Yes, there's a bingo. He said it. Trash bag, running, treadmill, or doing steps, and it's like practice only for a couple hours later to lose the weight. It's brutal. If you could do that, you could do anything in life.
Dude, he turned the heat on in the wrestling room too. It was like winter break, and like no one else was at school, so he would literally turn this heat on. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he can go to jail for doing this.
Yeah. Yo, Matt, quick question, bro. Where did you wrestle at, and why weight class, if you don't mind me asking?
Weight class, I'm not going to be able to remember that, but I went to Cherry Hill East in South
Jersey. New Jersey.
Yep. I'm New Jersey, South Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey's some good programs. We went out there before for tournaments.
I wrestled in. I only wrestled my freshman and sophomore year of high school, just because I had to pick between that or lacrosse to pursue one of the sports in college. So I picked lacrosse. But I think
lacrosse. You said lacrosse.
Yeah, lacrosse is. Yep, that's what I pursued in college. But I don't remember, George, what weight class I was. The thing was, honestly, man, the weight classes were so weird because it wasn't 120. It was like 127, 135.
Yeah. It's like,
dude, I don't remember what I was weighing.
103. Hold on. Let me try to remember real quick, bro. 103, 112. I'm gonna give you a few weights. 103 is obviously the lightest. 112. Yep. We had a mean 103 guy, so he was small. I thought he was good. 112. 121 or 20, something like that. Like thing like one, and then it's like 135 and one like it goes to like 145, 152. It's like 7 to it can be 5 pounds, 7 pound difference. It's all weird.
Dude, it's
60. I wrestled at 60 and 71, but I started at 52 when I was real young, like my freshman year, and I started sophomore year, but I started training a little bit end of freshman year. But I can see you like a 45, like a mean 45er, but you must look different too, bro. Because wrestling, bro, you can be skinny you want. You're gonna put some arms, but going in and grabbing people and lifting them up and just dumping everybody, it's such a workout, bro. It was honestly, wrestling's a good sport.
That's something that sport taught me so much about myself too. I really wish I would have continued with it. I don't think I was good enough to ever win states and do this in college. But man, you want to talk about like mental discipline? Like that sport, was incredible. Absolutely
exactly.
Incredible. So
awesome. Man. What?
I think that's why I love bodybuilding.
You brought memories
too,
back.
Bodybuilding pushed me mentally, just like wrestling did. Like dieting and cutting weight and just the grueling workouts that you had to do and just killing yourself on that mat. That's why I think I love bodybuilding so much, because it was that same kind of mental pursuit that I had to overcome. The
discipline is similar. A lot of pursuit, yes.
Yep.
And you know what to say, right, Matt? Dane Gable, and you guys, I know you probably heard of him. Steve, you probably heard of him too. So Dane Gable's an American hero. He was he didn't concede a point in college and in competitions. Olympic for the American, for USA. One of the greatest wrestlers to ever just exist. Period. Probably the greatest. And he said that quote, and you might know this, Matt. Steve, you probably heard of this, but if not, I'll let you know. He said, quote, this is famous quote. He said, once you wrestle, everything else in life is easy. And I was like, you know what, man? I used to not believe it. I used to hate the wrestling practices. I only love to win. I love to do it and to win. Like after my match or my fight, it was it. Or maybe sometimes 5 in a night is a lot, as you know, right, in tournaments, man. But the training is to hate it. Then after 18, after 19, 20, after college, I started missing out. I realized, you know what, man? That was the real deal. That was it. I mean, that was the most discipline you ever will get, or at least one of them. I mean, bodybuilding similar. The running, staying in, sleeping, just being disciplined, being very structured, bro. I mean, I can't explain it, man. Steve, if you go back, bro, you should wrestle, bro. If you go back in high school, trust me, bro.
Yeah,
you wouldn't regret it. You wouldn't regret it.
Yeah, I've definitely heard of Dan Gable, absolutely. And I was gonna say, no, it's like you said, like you were both saying, like wrestling kind of teaches you going forward. Like that's the thing, it provides that discipline. I was gonna say, like even when it comes to fitness, they tell you like if you can keep yourself in shape, like you can have the discipline to work out and eat correctly, and focus on all the other things we were saying, sleep, everything. If you can do that, you can conquer almost anything. They say like if you can conquer and like have your body in shape, you can probably say you wanted to start a business and like you can discipline carries over. I'm a firm believer in that. If you can stay disciplined in one area, which the big three are of life, they say are health, your wealth, and your relationships.
Yeah,
if you can stay disciplined in one of them, you can probably stay disciplined in all.
Oh, for sure. And it's funny too, man. Like when I'm like really on my game when it comes to health and fitness, like either I'm just pursuing any sort of goal, like it ties into the business and the success that we're having within the business. Like it really is crazy because again, I'm showing up as my best self, like for all my clients. I'm showing up for my best self for things that I'm working on to grow the business, right? So it's just crazy. Like it really, like you just mentioned, like if you get your health and fitness in a great spot, like you're gonna notice there's so many other areas of your life improving. And it's really priceless. Like that's the amazing thing to it. It really is priceless.
Yeah, exactly. I have a question. For both you guys, kind of relating to this, and then I'll let you kind of get the floor, Steve, and then we'll kind of continue rotation. So the question is very simple. It's actually it can kind of pertain to working out, but it's something in life. You guys ever feel like more achieved and accomplished guys? Like you have like a rough day, and say it's something you need to do, but you might need some help with it, like something online or I don't know, anything, just anything in life, like figure out a program, like a workout program. But you do it on your own. And then you actually finally get it done, and you did it on your own with very little help, or maybe no help at all. Do you ever feel like you do it and you kind of feel good about yourself when you did you accomplished something small, like a puzzle, a problem you had, something that you might need help, like you might need like meth help, but you did it on your own, something, right? You guys ever get that, like you feel more accomplished? And do you ever feel like great after the gym, like after just even a light workout, you feel actually kind of like, okay, you know what? Now we're getting somewhere. Do you ever feel inside like that little, like the energy guy? It's almost like dopamine in a way. It feels like you feel relieved in some ways. You feel good. I don't know how to explain it, but you ever feel that?
Well, your body actually releases endorphins when you're working out. So I always joke with people, like, you can go into the gym miserable, but you're never going to leave the gym, in that same state. I mean, unless something really bad happens.
Absolutely.
You get bad news.
Yes.
Like, I understand. But let's just say that you don't want to go to the gym and you get it done. Like, you're always going to be feeling fantastic. So.
Absolutely. And some workout is better than no workout. So even if you go and you don't get your full workout, it's better than sitting home on the couch and not working out at all.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, George, I do believe, I think momentum, it carries forward. So like if you knock down one goal, it helps you throughout your day to knock down other ones. And I know like I'll go to the gym after work a lot of times, but if I go to the gym to start my day before I start my work day, I just know I feel so much better. I'm ready. Like people say like, oh, like it's funny. People think you're going to be tired when like you leave the gym. I feel like actually energized when I leave the gym. Like I feel good. I'm ready to conquer my day. I knock the workout out. Don't have to worry about the workout. I can focus on everything else throughout the day. Unless I'm doing like a 2-a-day. Like today I trained and now I'm going to do cardio, but it depends. Like if I hit that workout and hit the ground running, I feel good.
Yeah. There's really nothing like it. And that's something too, like, I always talk to people about because, motivation is something everyone struggles with.
Nothing like it.
And it's just one of those things I always tell people, like, you can't rely on motivation, right? You have to rely on discipline to get done the things that you got to get done to move that needle in the right direction. But just like you mentioned, Steve, once you kind of get that discipline in a good spot, you start showing up for yourself, even on the days that you don't want to, that momentum's going to build, and that's going to get, greater and greater and greater. And the next thing you know, you're going to be super motivated to keep showing up for yourself because you're going to be feeling fantastic and you're going to start noticing progress. Because people think motivation is like literally the end all be all, but it's not. It's just discipline. It's just showing up on the days that you don't want to and building that momentum. Like that momentum is everything. And if you can get that momentum going, dude, like the sky's the limit. So.
Absolutely. I feel like
motivation, a little bit of discipline mixed with some work, some drive. That's kind of what motivation is, a little discipline.
Yep. No, for sure.
Yeah, and David Goggins always says that. He says there's a difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation, you're not always going to be motivated every single day to go do something. That's the difference between motivation and discipline. Motivated, like some people go, I need to be motivated to do something. I had somebody tell me the one day, they're like, I need to motivate to do this. Well, that's where discipline kind of comes in handy. If you can build that habit and keep that momentum, you'll be surprised. Like it's a mental battle more than anything. So if you can fight your mind, or how Goggins likes to say, callous your mind to just don't even think about it. Just go and do it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like you say you didn't want to go to the gym and you get that workout done. You're like, wow, I really don't want to do it, but I still went and did it, and I actually feel good. I was able to get that done. It's like it's amazing, like what we can do. You know what I mean?
For sure.
It really is.
No, it really is.
We got 2 comments here. One of them was Candace. She had said, "Is that the workout guy?" I think people see you like in the health and fitness part of the intro, and they're like, "That's the workout guy." Yeah,
that's the workout guy.
The workout guy. That's interesting.
That's what got Matt. And then Mario actually had a comment. It's a question for Matt, a bit off topic. But is there anything you could recommend for someone that has a poor immune system who gets sick frequently? Yeah, Mary's just from a personal. He's someone I think this year he was looking to kind of get back in the gym and stuff like that. But he's asking from an immune system perspective.
Yeah, that's a great question. I will say, like, of course, first and foremost, like, definitely consult your doctor about this, because there might be something underlying that is in play, and being able to get blood work is definitely going to be helpful to kind of get some more insight. But the biggest tips that I can offer really is, of course, like just the general, right? Eat healthy, just eat balanced meals throughout the day is going to be huge. Being physically active is also going to be huge. So like I kind of mentioned earlier, right? Like if you're not super active right now, like don't go like 0 to 100 with this, but just maybe look to, set a step goal throughout the day, or start going to the gym to work on, strength training and just kind of getting some cardio going. Getting enough sleep is something that's also very important. And, for those that aren't getting enough sleep, like, unfortunately, their immune system is going to be,
right here,
down regulating a little bit. So that's also very important. And I would say those are definitely the biggest 3 that I personally could offer advice for, is just, being healthy in regards to eating healthy, increasing your daily activity, getting enough sleep. But I would definitely, no matter what, would consult a professional when it comes to your doctor, just to kind of get some more insight, because they'll be able to kind of, again, run some blood work and kind of see what's going on internally that I personally would not be able to kind of tell you unless I see the blood work too. So
I got 2 quick questions, Matt, speaking about this a little bit. So what about all right, so the first question is working out, and again, just staying healthy, like you said, which again, I think part of staying healthy is working out. We kind of agree with that. We don't got to explain that. Mm-hmm. But so in other words, to kind of prevent to kind of getting sick, staying healthy, right? Would you say that like working out is very important to it, bro? And just kind of keeping just kind of keep moving, like even if you just like do some 10 crunches on the couch after you ate, instead of sitting down anymore, I eat as dessert, you do 10 crunches. Then you already ate, you waited like 10 minutes, you lay down a little bit, you get up to 10 crunches. Elliptical bike if you have it at home. Treadmill, going for a walk around the neighborhood. Sometimes me and you, Steve, walk around your block for fun with chit chat, right? Do you think those are good steps, Matt, to kind of like to kind of break down like whatever, like extra, like you just digest your food. Maybe you eat a lot, you feel a little heavy. Instead of just laying down and you don't make it worse, or just using the bathroom, you take a little walk, maybe just a little movement. Would you say that's actually pretty essential and stuff like this?
Yeah, I honestly, George, I would say that's the most, because like at the end of the day, like that's realistic, right? That's sustainable. Because a lot of people, like, one, they just can't get to the gym, they don't have a gym membership. Like they're a little intimidated to go to the gym. They just don't know what to do at the gym. And again, like that's what we have to kind of look at here, right? Is at the end of the day, like, yes, like the gym's very helpful, but what are the things that you can do every single day for a very, very long time? And like you mentioned, that's going for a walk. That's, being able to do body weight stuff at home if you are looking to do push-ups or sit-ups or squats, right? These little things like that help. But yeah, I would say in order to kind of, really get the ball rolling and just, more so just keep things in a great spot, that general daily activity is going to be huge.
Absolutely, it's the most sustainable. It's like I know people that have kids, and what they'll do after dinner is they'll do like their they'll post dinner stroll, where they'll take a walk around the block with their kids and stuff like that. I see it all the time where they have a dog, they'll take the dog out, go for a walk with the dog and stuff like that. They find ways to make it work. And I think the good thing is with the summer coming is, you get the longer days now. So it's going to be, you're just going to be more sunlight. So if you work like an office job, you can still get those steps in after, even if you work in the city. I know people to get like a lunch break, take a walk, you know what I mean? Take a walk outside. Don't just sit in the office, find ways to, I think, get that movement throughout the day.
I agree, Steve. I've worked in the office, and it's to stay in the office all day, bro. People used to make fun of me, right, Matt? They're like, look at George getting the office worker belly. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I said, stop playing with me, Because, like, and funny things about that, Steve, is that we had a lady actually used to work when I was working at Wabash International, PNC Finances in Horsham. I was there for like a couple months, and this one lady would leave earlier. She'll get there at 8. Well, we all got there at 9 in the office, obviously, but she would get there at 8, leave at 4 o'clock. So she get there early. She would always take walks around the building. I would take my walks too, but I would take a little walk, and I would see she walked with the pace. So I kind of figured out, okay, she's just trying to like maintain with like a little bottle of water, but like a little, like not a bottle, like what do you call it, like the one that Stevie's drinking out, like a cup, like a nice one. And she'll get a walk in, and I would see sometimes salads, and she was kind of not for nothing, kind of somewhat decent looking. So I'll say hi sometimes to her, talk a little, and I asked her, I was like, oh, you always take walks? She's like, yeah, it helps me with like my like with dieting, just kind of stay healthy. But you know what? It helps you not fall asleep. Plain and simple. If you work in office, bro, sometimes, man, if I need coffee, I feel like I'm fall asleep at 3 o'clock. To wait till 5 o'clock. So I would, and by the way, they encourage us. And you work in the office, Steve. You know how it is. They'll tell us, by any point, if you guys feel like too tired, you can cut up and kind of do this and stretch and walk around a little bit. I walk around the office, I would go and do like a photocopy, and still sometimes I take a walk. Most of my work was done anyway. I go back in the office, sit down. They're very lenient about being on the phone and all that. I just wasn't too much because I was working through a temp agency, so I didn't want to do too much at the time. I get caught up, but very lenient of being on your phone. I mean, obviously, you can be on your phone all day, but you can be on your phone. But they're very always stressed that go for a walk on your break, walk around the office, go use the bathroom all you want, and drink water. Because, see, those that know, bro, know, even if you're in office, you're a CEO or whatever you are, the boss, you know that your workers need a little, like, your legs will get funny and, like, numbing, so that you know that, like, you should get up and do a little walk. It's very regular in office settings. It's just some people that work in the office don't take the time to go to the gym, and older people, I guess, that you look old and you're already getting old, you're not going to the gym. So my homies were teasing me. I'm like, nah, so you crazy. I still got the six-pack because we're doing jiu-jitsu, and I remember, like, I was a little, like, bloated that day. They're like, yeah, look at you. You can tell you've been eating, drinking coffee, and not working out because you're in the office. Like, stop joking. He's like, why am I here? So I'm right here in the Mets with you guys, eh? But, yeah, no, you're right, though. Being in the office is very good to drink water. And that's actually the question. You kind of answered it, Matt. I was going to say the second question I had before I gave the floor to Steve. So, basically, how do you feel about drinking water? Would you say that's very important? Like, it's one of the most...
It's huge, man. And I think
yeah, please, let's hear this one.
Before you hopped on. But, like, honestly, like we were saying, like, that's the one thing that I always advise people to focus on first. Because it's something that everyone overlooks. And, they just don't drink enough. But there's just so many great benefits to making sure you're drinking enough water throughout the day. So yeah, that's definitely something I highly advise that people start tracking their water intake. And I always get asked, like, all right, how much should I drink? And again, if you've never, like, actually tracked, I always kind of, again, say start off small. So let's focus on getting like 65 ounces in, and then do that like religiously for like, 2 to 3 weeks, and then bump that up to 80, and bump it up to 90, and bump it up to like 100. So like kind of like, go up by 10 ounces, every couple weeks. Because I'll be honest with you, if you're only drinking 3 glasses of water, and the next thing you know, you try to do a gallon, like it's not realistic. Like it's not gonna happen. So,
I have experience in that too, guys. I've experienced it too. I had to drink gallons of water for a drug test because I smoked weed, so I had to do a drug test a while back. Matt, it does not work, bro. You try chugging that thing, dude. You're like, what am I drinking this water for? It's like your body doesn't want it, even though it's good. And I'll give you the floor back, Matt. I didn't want to cut you off, but you drink that, bro. If you're not drinking a lot of water and you're trying to over drink it, it's not realistic. Your body doesn't want it. You're like, I'm drinking water. I need like a break, and you pee every 5 minutes. But yeah, dude, but go ahead.
I always joke like you're living in the bathroom, especially if you're not used to drinking that much water.
Yep.
Yeah, you can always get creative too. You can add lemon, you can add like fruit, you can do sparkling water. I used to do those flavor water things. The only thing I'll say is some of them do have sucralose, so it's like I know I even drink like sometimes Ghost energy drinks. Like I know they have sucralose. I try to like limit how much I do now that I'm starting to be a little bit more conscious of the ingredients and stuff. I do try to limit how much I do consume. I try to opt kind of for coffee instead of energy drinks all the time. But yeah, just be mindful. I know some of them like they do, but like you can always do sparkling water. There's always good flavor sparkling water. I would say you would probably say this too. I mean, I don't know. Does it not like if you're only consuming sparkling water? I'd say that's good, but if you could mix it in, like I would say try to consume regular water too. Like
dude, I'm drinking the ShopRite brand, the Bowl and Basket Beer Delight right now.
Nice.
Dude, these things are delicious, but I will say I only drink these usually when I have dinner. Like you said, Steve, I wouldn't suggest drinking this all day long because there's definitely some other things in here. And like I drank like a whole bottle of this in one sitting. Like I just did not feel right. Like it bloated me like no other. But yeah, dude, like I will have just to get some taste. Like, dude, these things are like 89 cents at ShopRite. Like,
unbelievable.
And they're so freaking good. Like this tropical one, I'm sitting on a beach right now. It's so good.
I'll do like sometimes like the pineapple coconut one from Bubbly. Like it's the same thing. So it feels like you're on a beach, man.
Yeah, it's really they're good. But again, I would not suggest drinking those all day long as your water intake.
So, no, definitely not.
Not be
some good. Definitely some good questions being answered here, and some very good information, if you will, especially from an expert, somebody with your expertise, my man here, Matt. Also, like you said, bro, there we go, exactly. I think it's good to drink water, especially if you're eating a lot. Like some people don't eat very healthy, but they drink water, and it's like they say that like drinking water because it's like you're kind of like digesting stuff better. Even you take a nice cold shower, bro. You'd be surprised you might lose a pound or two, bro. I've done it all. Like I'll sweat the gym, like you said. I ran with trash bags. I got a trash bag and a little vest. I bought one, and they actually game me a free one out to Cali because I did like I can't wait for one day for a fight. So it was really like short notice. So I got a vest. I even got one from my family members, and he works. He helps them. But like I said, it's all about having the mentality of going in a hot sun, or even like a day was like a little warmer than like today or yesterday, and you go walk with that thing. You'd be surprised you're gonna shed a couple pounds, because the best time to shed a lot of pounds is late March, April, when it gets a little warm. Now, this kind of weather, I know you guys are thinking, it will trick you, right? Like, for example, look what happened on March 3rd, March 2nd. It was very nice. It was beautiful 3 days in a row. Then it got cold, and it got very cold the other day.
Classic spring.
Yeah, classic spring. But honestly, guys, I've noticed, and you probably have seen this too, man. Sometimes in early spring, because it's not quite very hot yet, you're still sweating, so you're actually losing that weight. And in contrast to losing that in the summer or in the winter, you get more gaining that. You got time now to kind of work on that summer body that we all work hard from like I guess October to about like end of April to about May, the summer body. If you do it in spring, I've seen results, bro. Steve will tell you, we hit the beach last year, and 1 year I wasn't like in the best shape, but if you do a couple push-ups at home, bro, you can be surprised like you get ripped, and you don't need a lot. Like, I haven't been eating much lately because my sleep schedule has been not so great, and when you're not sleeping the best, your eating habits can also be a little all over the place. And I told Steve this too. I haven't been at the gym in a couple of days, bro, but I feel like I haven't missed a step. I still look really caught up, and like, I looked at myself the other day, I look really sharp, and I was like, wow, that's what happens. You don't eat a couple of days, or you eat it's like you decrease your eating habits. I really noticed that, bro. So, something I want to kind of share with you guys. I'm like,
I was gonna say, Matt, I know you said this before too. People are sometimes shocked. They like, they'll work with you, and like they're actually increasing the amount of food they eat and losing weight. Like that's a big one too. It's like what you eat is important because yeah, absolutely.
No, that's a whole other conversation. Like, when you talk about the metabolism, but honestly, like every single person we work with, we always increase their calories. Like, I want to say everybody, but I literally will say 99.999% of the people that we work with, like, we're increasing calories just because they either, one, just like I mentioned earlier, they don't know what they should be eating, they don't know the amount they should be eating, so they typically are under eating. And a big reason why they might not be making progress is because their metabolism is running very, very slow. And if your metabolism's not in a healthy spot, like, weight loss is going to be very difficult, and it's going to be very difficult to sustain any weight that you lose. So yeah, we honestly do, for the majority of the people we work with, and we take them through a reverse diet where we slowly increase their calories to get their hormones, to get their metabolism back in a really good, healthy spot. And it works like clockwork. Like, again, if the individual is willing to follow the plan, it works like clockwork, that their metabolism really ramps up and this amazing progress is made, and they're eating more food than they ever have been. It's a win-win.
Yep, exactly. Spot like
good point.
Couldn't have said it by myself. Yeah, gotta follow the protocol, guys. You follow the protocol and you listen to these guys, and you're gonna see results. I'm telling you, I know people that have worked with Matt personally, so they've seen the results.
The results are there, guys, ladies and gentlemen, and ladies. Don't be shy, gentlemen. If you have any questions here, hit our boy here, because Matt here knows a lot of stuff, and he's got a lot of knowledge on these things. So it's like, and like I said, especially the ladies here, don't feel free to like bad, like, oh, I'm not gonna get the body I was wanted, because you don't get overnight. It might take, right, Matt? It could take weeks. Some people it takes years. I talked to a guy, right, and this is a different example. He's a big guy, friend of mine, big dude, really big. I asked him, how long did it take you to get that big? He said like it took him close to 4 to 5 years. Yeah. He was always kind of big. He was always tall, right? Maybe like your type of build, man, but like tall, like he had like some people got a big frame where like they're not fat or skinny, they're kind of regular, but when they build and they get more buffed and more pumped up, they look like bodybuilders. This guy looks like a bodybuilder, works as a balancer, but he moves pretty good. And he told me he goes to the gym all the time, and he said something very similar to what you said, and what I've been known for all along, that if you eat at night and you don't jog, especially like burgers and shit like that, and you go to sleep, that's to get that belly. But if you eat at night and you wait a little bit and you do go for a walk, I mean, it's not ideal, but you're never going to get that fat. But if you're eating right away, you're going to, that's terrible. You're going to feel like shit. You're going to feel heavy in the bed, like you feel like you're like a pillow, like you're like a penguin in the snow. You feel like here, like your stomach, because you're slipping on the side or possibly on your back. So it doesn't feel good. I've done it, and never again, guys. The guys and girls, don't eat a lot, especially heavy or sweets, and go to sleep like 10 minutes later. No, wait at least 35, 40 minutes. Walk around a little bit. Take a walk. Go down the post, down the corner of your street. If it's late at night, if it's not cold, take a walk on right back. It's not. I sometimes walk around the house and I do my treadmill bike, but I also don't eat sweets at night anymore. But because my schedule's so all over the place, and Steve knows this very well, because I've told him, you might not know, Matt, but I work at the club, so sometimes I come home, it's already like sometimes 4 or 5 in the morning, so it's like I sleep till about maybe 10 a.m. and well, I just can't help but eat it, man. It's just you gotta stay very disciplined. I'm so hungry by that point. I don't know. If you worked a night job, Steve. Do you ever get hungry when you got home from like working those hours? Did you ever feel hungry like 5 in the morning?
Yeah, I did it for 6 years. I worked overnights, and it was what I would do is I would try to, as I got like more into it, I would try to eat something couple hours before I come home or an hour before I come home. So I'd have like a final meal or something like that. That way I'm not like starving by the time I come home. I try to like to consume something like an hour before I leave or something like that. But that way I'm still working. Gives me enough time to digest it, could come home, take the shower, and just kind of go right to bed without consuming anything. And if I would consume something, I would try to just do like a really, really light snack, nothing crazy.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to say it. Good answer. Like a light snack, like some grape or something like that. Try not to eat like fruit. Like I'll tell everybody like bread and all that, especially at night. Like, and I get it. You did a job like me, right, man? Like we've done some overnight jobs, and all the guys at my job, even DJs, that work there, they're in good shape too. Some of them are actually pretty caught up, like really ripped up. Being there, they're older, and probably all three of us. Some of the guys, then they tell me, they're like, yeah, you know, George, I go home, I got my favorite show, I might take a shower, text somebody as well, do all this, and like do stuff on the computer. I'm like, so yeah, it sounds like me. The life of a night person. You come home, like, it might be 4 in the morning. I don't have time to look at your emails, but guess what? For a computer, you might check an email on your phone real quick, and then now time is going. The best thing is come home, shower, or wash your hands real quick, do what you gotta do, change, and like Steve said, go to bed. But I mean, it's easier said than done, and I've done it. Like, I went to bed right away, or I ate a small snack and went to bed, but also sometimes ate a huge snack, and I'm like, I just don't like the kind of routine and lifestyle. But because of how I work, bro, I gotta be careful. So what I do is, personally, guys, and I think I told you, Steve, I eat a snack before I leave, like around like 1:55. I eat a little snack on the way home. So when I go home, I don't gotta eat nothing at home. I come home, right to bed. But yeah, it's hard. It's a little bit of a challenge because, like you said, man, it's all about go to sleep. Sure. Sleep seems to be everything. I mean, I don't want to say like that, but it is what it is. Like, it is everything. Now, people, sleep is important.
It's huge, man. And dude, the overnight, when you're in that zombie mode, it just makes it so much difficult to make progress and to get that needle moving.
Yeah, you see,
it really. I'll be honest, like. We work with some people that are on overnight shifts, and I always tell them, like, hey, this is going to take a lot longer than it needs to take. Just because, like I said, I know it's life, and you know, you have to do what you got to do. But I'm just always realistic that your body's in a much different spot when you're awake when you should be sleeping.
Our biological clocks just aren't built to be up all night and to sleep during the day. I'll tell you what, like, there's nothing like normal about working overnights. The only things that I liked about working overnights was that everything was empty during the days. When everybody's working, I could go to the gym. Gym's empty, you know, middle of the
Yes, that's true. Yeah, very true, Steve. I've been there.
Yeah, not much I miss about overnights. That was like the only good thing. You go to the stores were empty, you know what I mean, middle of the week and stuff like that. So
dude, it's fun. I go to the gym now because I usually go around like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I always crack up and I'm like, what are these people doing here? Because my gym, our Giant Fitness in South Jersey is crowded, dude. And I'm like, and I'm sure they're looking at me wondering the same thing, but I'm like, what are these people doing here?
Yeah. Like today, my work was kind of flexible. I didn't go first thing in the morning to the gym, but I did get there like later in the morning, around like 10:30, 11, and I left around like 12ish. But yeah, it was kind of busy for like that time. But the good thing is, like, my job, I work from home, so it's flexible. If I don't have meetings like mid afternoon, I can maybe pop out for like an hour.
So you all worked out.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say 2 things I just wanted to address before we wrap up. I don't want to hold it too long, Matt. No, I know you have so you have other coaches on your team, right? I know you have like do you have 2 or 3? I just want to you know, for people.
Yep. So I got my wife. I just call her Coach Taylor, but she works with majority of the females for on the team, and then I also have my brother-in-law. A little bit of a family business going. I didn't expect for this to happen, but it kind of led to this point. His name's Andrew, but he's the other assistant coach that works with. He's more of like the performance coach. So when we're working with somebody that's more of like, you know, let's say for example like CrossFit. Like the powerlifting side of things, I kind of send them to Andrew's way because he has much more of a background in that world of training than me. But yeah, those are the 2 that we have on board.
Cool. No, awesome. Yeah, I know you had. I know your wife was in, and I knew you had another coach too. So yeah, I just wanted to make that clear for everybody. Yeah, so there are some options to work. Yep. But how many clients do you guys in total like hold at any given time?
We got about 170 right now on the team.
Wow. I think you told us 150. So you're going up to about 20.
Yeah, we're going up, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, right? I know it's a little less time though, and I remember very well what Steve was saying. That I remember he said you have 2 guys to help. I thought it was 3, but he said 2. I remember he said that you and your wife kind of run the business. I think it's dope, bro. I think it's actually great, bro. I mean, it's like more people should do this kind of stuff. It's always, I always love the fact when I see like a man and woman that are married doing a business, and even if they know sort of like separate businesses, they combine and work on one thing. I think it's like, you know, he shows real character. Yeah. Like some, you know, people say power couple goals. Well, that's what it is. And you know, the bodies are a temple, man. The people like you, Matt, are very important, bro. You know, people that like really tell you to eat positive, you know, eat good, stay positive, stay well. You know, you being like crap the whole time. People might have something like diabetes, something like that. It's not the end of the world, you know. You work out, guess what? You won't feel it as much, man.
Yeah.
I know somebody's actually not somebody, more than 2 people that I know that I'm cool with, but also one of them is really older. He's about right now he might be 75 now. He beat cancer, bro, back in 2010. He's an OG, bro, an OG. from the time of the Black Panthers, and he did Vietnam. So he's talking about like a guy that's been probably even felt a bullet in his leg because he was in an army and everything, and he's cancer free, teaches classes at a church, martial arts classes, and he also like a business. And he said that the real like goal, he said, was, I mean, not to like, for someone like he's already older, he's like, he's not to live forever. He said the years I have left, he said, live well. He said, I'm cancer free. And he said the trick is that don't think about it too much. That just kind of work out what you can. He said, and just kind of like come to a conclusion that it's going to be really hard and it could be like life challenging. But he said, but stay positive. He said, and try to conquer. He said he beat it twice. I'm not saying that because he's an older gentleman now. He's probably like in his mid 70s. I'm not saying that he's the healthiest that shit can come back, but I'm saying is he lives a great life. He's been. I just talked to him recently, and a lot of gentlemen that were probably younger than him, or like older, but they died sooner, but they were like not much older. He actually could have been like not been here, but he made it. And I mean, it's an inspirational story if you know the whole story. Again, he's a pastor and a master. His name is Pastor Robinson, that's how we call him. But yeah, he's very, very wise man, and he knows some guys who do fitness. And he said that, like, speaking of which, people like you do fitness, and like friends of his actually helped him, because I mean, he said, hey, I could have been gone. He said, you never know. I mean, I don't want to say that, but the C word, oh man, I mean, it's just a cancer in itself. It's all in the mind as well, and it can really, if you let it, if you start thinking like that, you give up as well without before. Your body sometimes will follow your mind. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they say it's mind, body, and soul. Well, sometimes, like I said, Steve, the mental, bro, it can screw you up in the head. So that's why I tell people, like, they shouldn't themselves. Nah, you're not in terrible shape. You gotta go to the gym. You can improve, but don't feel like I'm a sloppy guy. I'm fat. I'm this and that. Just think about it like I'm improving because well, whatever. I mean, maybe I had bad genetics. Maybe I let myself go. Some people have stress or accidents, and that's why they gain weight. So no point of body shit somebody, help somebody.
There's just one other thing I want to add in here before we wrap up. So Marius had a question. There's one last one. He said, Matt, thanks for the question. This might be doctor related again, but he just said I think by chance he's going to urgent care tomorrow to see his doctor or a doctor. So it actually good that he had the question. He said, I've noticed that whenever I run or walk really fast for a few minutes, I'm out of breath / wheezing. He was just asking if it's helping by chance.
I'm out of breath, wheezing.
I would say the biggest response to that is you just got to keep going with the cardio. Like, it just goes to show that your cardiovascular shape's not in the best spot, and like how you improve that is to keep pushing yourself when it comes to cardio. Like, of course, like, don't push yourself that you're going to fall over and not be in a good place. But and I don't mean to joke about that. But you just got to keep pushing yourself, because it's funny too. A lot of people ask me about supplements, and I'm not an advocate of supplements at all. Like, I don't push them on anybody. I personally don't really take. I take creatine and protein powder. That's it. Like, other than my multivitamin, fish oil, just because, and pre-workout, just because everyone needs a little caffeine boost.
You were the same, bro.
There's so many supplements out there, and again, growing up, I literally purchased everything. Like, I would spend hundreds of dollars at GNC because I thought all those supplements are going to get me to the finish line. And it's so far from the case. Like, a lot of these are just literally, you don't even know what's in them, and they really don't do anything unless your diet and your workouts are on point. Don't turn to supplements to help with that. It's just more so you just got to keep showing up and just keep pushing yourself when it comes to cardio. And I promise you, it's going to get better. Your breathing's going to get better. The wheezing is going to go away. And you're going to be in a much better spot. It's going to take time to build the cardiovascular side of things.
Yeah, it takes time, actually. And Matt, I'm glad you said that. Actually, a good question for our body Marius, because speaking of which, and again, me and Steve talked about it, because we actually have some guys who've done MMA. Here's the thing: when you do stuff like that, even for like jiu-jitsu, wrestling, MMA, you're not going to be in shape right away. What did I tell you, wrestling? Keep wrestling, keep grappling, keep sparring, because it's going to build it. Same thing like you just told Marius, that basically, like small walks like that. Like, you should start with like a huge run. You should start with like walks and slow, and then a little power, a little quicker, then a little power walk, then some light run or jogs. Like, I can't do hills and sprints up here because there's a little spot here. It's kind of like up the hill. Yeah, you got to start slow. I think that's the...
Maybe run for like a few minutes, walk, for, you know what I mean? And that's that's
how you start.
I'm still not the best runner, to be honest, but like, it's just, that was kind of how I told myself. I used to suck. Like, I used to be horrible. I used to be like, my face would be bright red. You know what I mean? I was horrible with like running. And I think that's the only way I really taught myself, was just doing high intensity intervals. Yeah. When I'd run for a short bit, and I'm like, okay, let's try to get in another minute. And then, maybe you couldn't that day or whatever, but you just keep at it, and you just try to stay.
Some of our walks, though, man, we be walking in the woods sometimes. They're legendary, because me and Steve will do a walk for like an hour. You'll feel your feet hurt. You're like, damn, I already walked that much. But the difference is there. You'll see the result. Trust me. Like, me and Steve are first-hand experiences, like as far as like doing walks. And sometimes Marius does come with us, but I'll be honest, like I told Steve, dude, I was playing around there with a buddy of mine who's not even a fighter. I would joke like 2 days ago, I was at the gym, I want to see hi. We're playing around because I'm injured right now, man, so I haven't been doing much, and I was out of breath too. And I'm in somewhat decent shape, but to be in shape, nowhere near what I gotta be. Fight shape, forget it. I couldn't last like 3 minutes right now, 2.5 minutes. I couldn't last if we're like going at it, like rolling or grappling or doing MMA. Like I can only do it because I can hide my cardio because of my techniques. I'm so advanced, but it's like I mean, anybody tell you, yes, Steve, you know too, Matt. If you have two great fighters, the guy that got better cardio is gonna win. The matter if the guy's more skilled, because the guy will get tired eventually. And it's like you have two cars. One car is like a Benz or Ferrari. One car is a piece of crap old car. The old car, you put gas and take care of it. You actually maintain it pretty well. It'll take you everywhere. The nice car, it's out on gas. It's tired now. No more gas. Sorry, like it could be the best car. It could be like a Rolls Royce, you know. So, and one of my old MMA coaches and this guy to train with this guy named Bart Vale, he said it before, you know, like he said it, like he's a shoot fighting instructor, MMA instructor. He said like, you have two cars. He said, but if one doesn't, you know, one doesn't have the gas, I mean, you know, and some of my instructors train with him and said the same thing. Cardio is number one, so you get your cardio. So same thing here, like even in the gym, if you don't go heavy, like Steve said, I'm going today hopefully a little before an hour. I don't go heavy. I'm gonna go like shoulders but light. But I guarantee you guys, by the hour mark in the gym, I'm gonna feel tired, but better. I'm gonna feel like oh my god, I went through this, but I'll feel better.
I would say it depends on what you're going for. If you're going for strength, obviously, you know, you're gonna train heavy. If you're going
I'm going more for like just like my arms, just like not strength, more like just to shake shit. Not strength, not tonight. Not strength tonight. Strength will be Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah. No, I don't want to hold anybody too long, man. I just want to say, Matt, thanks so much for coming back on. Mario actually said, I appreciate the advice. Thank you guys. Great show. Keep the good work. Thanks, Mario. Appreciate you, brother.
Mario.
And as always, man, Matt, great stuff. Like, I always look forward to these fitness episodes, man. And we'll absolutely have to keep in touch. If I hear anybody reach out to
Matt, we need you again, bro. Please come back some point, dog.
We need you. Anytime you guys need me, just let me know. Like, I was cracking up too because when Steve texted me to hop back on the show, because I feel like we did this last year at this time, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's warmer weather.
We'll bring you sooner.
That's how you know. That's how you know the warmer weather is coming.
Yeah, well, definitely it's coming around. Minus yesterday. Yesterday was like a fucking tsunami. That shit was, the wind was crazy yesterday. Yeah. But I was a little busy. You know, I was actually working a little bit at night yesterday, but it was really bad. When your car shakes, you're like, what is going on here? Like,
yeah,
it was
next week, it's looking up next week. I just think we got to get through this weekend here. I think it's gonna be like a monsoon on Saturday. I'm seeing, but if we get through this weekend, I think next week's gonna be
a monsoon. And you're in Jersey too. That's shit crazy, Jersey.
We're seeing 1 to 2 inches in South Jersey, so I'm sure you guys are probably right there.
Jeez.
Yeah. Wow.
No, I was saying, right, Matt, I will definitely bring you back for sure for another like couple solo episodes, maybe even one with more than like more people on the panel. But you know, I was telling Steve, I'd like to bring you one day, bro, and bring somebody else who does like something similar like you, even if he's like not as experienced. So we can have you and somebody else in there and share some perspectives. I think it'll be great and it'll be really cool for the podcast. Even for you, like somebody we know, you know, like yourself. It doesn't have to be as experienced as you know as up there as you, because you have like a whole system and a program. You're doing good things. Even somebody like knows a thing or two will be great to have a. So you know, me and Steve, obviously we work out, we know a little, but we have two like more professionals and more, you know, guys and a little more expertise and more certified. That'll be dope, I think, and we can bring you back. But obviously,
I'll even be happy to get my Taylor and my other coach.
We'll bring you back on a solid one too, on a solo.
Do whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah, man, definitely, it'll be great, bro. But thanks for having you, for coming on, man. We're glad to have you, bro. And
I was gonna say, and keep up the work with your podcast, man. Some good stuff coming. I've seen. So,
dude, I'm trying, man. I give you credit, bro. I'm trying to figure everything out. I don't know how to. It's funny. I don't know how to get it on like the different platforms other than Spotify. And
we're trying to get there ourselves.
But oh my gosh, dude! Like it's funny too because I have 2 mics and I can't figure out how to get my Mac to be able to use both microphones. Like when I have somebody sitting in my office here, like so we're learning, dude. it's a process.
Exactly. Yeah. If you have any questions or anything, you know, I'll try to offer advice anywhere I can. So you know.
Yeah, we got you, bro. You always helpful with us. It's only right there. You know what I mean? We help you with stuff like that. And speaking of your podcast, bro, you gotta let us know, man. Me and Steve will come up. I mean, even if one of us comes solo, dolo, and say he can't make it or I can't make it because I'm at work or whatever, like let us know. We'll come, bro. We can bring some people too. I mean, I know plenty of guys like yourself, guys that or gym. I let them on like gym goers. They know what they're doing and they're enthusiasts and they're a little certified, but they're nowhere near your level, bro. So I can bring you to your show if you want some guests. Let me know, bro. They're all guys that you can rely. Nobody's not gonna show up or waste of time. You know, none of that shit. Because me and Steve are very specific about who we bring, so we can bring somebody that's been here or new guys on your show too. And you know, me and Steve like the combo, so let us know, bro. We got our tickets ready.
Dude, listen, I would love to have you guys on. Like that's honestly what it's all about. Because like I'm more so like I have health and fitness stuff on there for sure because I feel like I have to. But it's just more so like talking to people like yourself that have a story. Like you guys clearly have a story that you guys started this podcast and have built it up to where it's at today, which is incredible, right? So like that's what I want to be able to document. It's just kind of like the journey of where you were, more so where you're at now, and just kind of really go into those bits and pieces. Because again, like I know you guys from this podcast, but I don't know what you guys are doing before this. Like both of you guys, right? So like that's what I love talking to people about. So yeah, I would love to have you guys on the show and talk about that and hear your story. And this is how you guys
That'll be
connected
nice.
and got your own show up and running. So with the Locked In podcast. So
Absolutely.
it would be cool. That'd be really cool. But yeah, we'll definitely have to get something on the calendar soon because I'm trying to do every other week because I'm like I can't do weekly. God bless you guys to get the content out.
It's tough, but we do our best, bro. It's, it can be a little challenging, but like you said,
we were actually just discussing that before the episode about
about doing something bi-weekly here and there. But I mean, listen, guys, it's a lot to talk about. We would love to do more, man. But like you said, man, it's not easy, right? And me and Steve were just talking about this like an hour ago, like that. As much as we'll do bi-weekly, sometimes, it is what it is. I mean, especially because I do a lot, he does a lot, and one of us might not be here. We talked about doing a podcast like in Cali one time or in Florida if we're both there, like we were in Miami 2 years ago and shit. Yep. But yeah, man, God bless those guys that make it work. You got a lot of subscribers because it is a lot of work. But never give up, guys. Things get tough. Always talk to your business partner in crime, your friend, your guy you're doing with, or even if you don't have, if you do it solo, right? Talk to your guys, your audience, guys always figure things out, get some input. I mean, people might think it's this is that. Listen, input is there for that, bro. It's what the what do you call it? Like the feedback is there for. I mean, and we're guys that we don't care if it's better or good. We want to take the bet to make it better, but we do appreciate your show and appreciate you coming here, bro. And I've been watching a little bit, but I gotta get the link and know when you go live. I never know when people are going live anymore. I just see Facebook lives, but that's Facebook.
No, I got you, man. Like I said, we'll definitely get something on the calendar. We'll definitely get something on the calendar soon because I would love to. It's honestly easier talking to other people than doing it by yourself. So
absolutely.
That's what I realized pretty quickly because I've only ever interviewed Taylor, and then I interviewed one of my clients that did really well with us, and I was like, when I was just talking to them and having a conversation, it was just smooth and I didn't have to stop and restart when I'm doing it by myself. I'm so OCD that if I messed up a word, I'm like, stop, restart, and just do the whole damn thing over again. Dude, it takes forever. But I'm like, God bless those guys that do this weekly because I don't know how they do it. I really do not.
Well, just one thing real quick I want to say, Matt, before we kind of go towards the end and about that. And again, Steve, we talked about it before too. So it's when it comes to the podcast, right? It's there's always something to learn, bro. So it's now you may or may not know this. You probably know because you do it too now. You can do the pre-recorded one, or we're doing right now live. Now the pre-recorded ones are cool. But I have a buddy who's ironic. His name is Steve, just like my man here. So my other friend Steve, my job, he does the word. He gets letters, and what they want to hear, you'll talk about it. But he doesn't pre-record it. And he's showing me. He's supposed to been come here, but we'll figure out to try to bring him in. His show is called Road Dog Productions. But here's the thing: he does it weekly. I think he does it every 3 weeks from right now. But he gets more by popular demand. We do something very similar. Say somebody tomorrow hits us up, yo guys, let's talk about this show next week. We look, okay, let's see. We have somebody planned in. How about that week after that? Cool. People do, and we always say, right, Steve? We always tell people, if you guys have questions, let us know, and we talk about something you might want to hear.
Yeah.
But when you do it live, bro, I mean, when you do it live, unless you're doing it, you're recording it, and then you can go back. Have you ever noticed, guys? I know you've seen this, Steve, and you've seen it too, Matt, where you might watch somebody's podcast and be like, "Whoa, are we keeping that?" Okay, they always say we're keeping that because they're doing it in real time. But then they go back to checking it. We're doing everything in real time, so whatever you see is what you get. We're not cutting nothing down. I mean, we have some copyright stuff and be careful, for music, because we do not own the rights to the music, so we can get shut down. We never really got shut down, but I mean, you always might also get a little infringement.
Better that way, because I'm not seeing you through, so if I had
exactly. So it's easier this way, but we did some pre-recorded ones, right, Steve, when we first started, and it's challenging. It's easier on the surface, but sometimes it's harder because you got to go and check everything. When you do this, it's so natural.
Yep.
But I know I hear you, bro. I hear you. I mean, yeah, you're right. It's definitely not that easy to do it every weekend on your own and no help, really. I mean, yeah, it gets a little challenging. You got to know the tricks of the trade and have the time, which I told Steve sometimes we don't have the time, but we make the time. I mean,
yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, it's funny because I always try to edit out the ums because again, I record everything on my Mac and I have
a lot of ums.
Camera. I make content all the time for the fitness stuff. So I film also on my camera for the YouTube. But it's funny because I say quite often, especially if I'm trying to think what I'm about to say next. So I'm in Final Cut Pro, which is my video editing software now, cutting out the ums. I'm like, dude, this is it just takes.
Oh man, it sounds like public speaking to me, bro. When I did public speaking, that was a thing. Obviously, I talk real fast, but for me, it was no, stop saying pausing, just a pause, you just I mean, for me, it's good because I talk so fucking fast. But anyway, but also for me, it was you know what I'm saying, and then Now, you know what I'm saying? That's a very, very regular word that all three of us, I'm pretty sure, use. Whether you talk slang or not, it just comes very natural.
Yeah,
but you don't want to use it too much in public speaking, or you're talking I mean, if you're gonna a big speech, obviously podcasting, we don't gotta. That's a beautiful thing what we do, guys. We don't gotta be too proper with it. But obviously, we don't want to curse every 3 seconds. We don't want to say too many ums. You know what I mean? There's ways to do things, but it's also a free-flow conversation, right? And me and Steve actually this problem. Yo, dog, remember the first time we did the first episode, Steve? We were kind of nervous, 2020, dude. There's this COVID's going on. We didn't know what that we're doing. We're just trying. It was very nervous, right? We pre-recorded that one. So that's how we do it. I mean, you're gonna learn, bro. But you did great, man. If you have any questions, I mean, if you need
Dude, I will.
if you need somebody last second, we got you. We can fill in as long as it's not a Thursday. We could do that. So
we'll definitely have to find a time to get you guys down here and just do this via video because I would love to have you guys on. So
absolutely,
awesome.
we'll throw something on the calendar. And anybody who's curious, again, I have this link up. You can go right here to mattleafit.com/pages/workout giveaway. You can check out what's going on here. If I have anybody that reaches out to me personally, I'll forward them your way, Matt.
Yeah,
absolutely. I just want to thank you again, man, for coming on. As always, this is always
man. You're always a blessing to have you, bro. You're definitely the man, Matt.
Man. I appreciate the opportunity.
Much appreciated. And we also hope there's some more guys. Some of the guys that comment here, some of the guys we know them we're pretty close to us, but some might just kind of be like they're watching, but they comment. Obviously they're all welcome. But the ones that we know, some of the ladies and gentlemen here that kind of ask about you, you know where to find you. And they can come and ask me any question, like Mary's and them. You're not hard to find. You're on IG.
Yep.
You're on Facebook, right? You're here, so yeah, we got the website, so we'll do some promotion, and I might even put the link on the page. I didn't get to do a promo today for this episode, which I wish I did a little, but I'll do some after the show promo. I put your link on there for those people because this goes beyond this episode. This is like a lifestyle. If you don't look good and have the life you want and the body you want, you should definitely highlight some guys like you, or keep working hard, and you're the guy to ask. So yeah, we'll do some stuff for you as well, man.
I appreciate the opportunity as always, guys.
Absolutely. It's
awesome, and definitely.
Guys, I just want to tell you guys, Matt, we'll be in contact, but have a great night, guys. Great episode as always.
Have a great night, everybody.
Everybody, we'll see you back next week where we'll have my boy Frank coming on here for episode 167. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night, guys.
That was
great
cool.
weekend.
All right. Good night, guys.
Peace.
Peace, love, and hair grease.